Well, hi YouTube. My name's Paloma. I'm a digital illustrator, and this video is basically an official introduction of myself and my channel. So this isn't actually my first video. The last time I posted was 5 years ago. And if you are currently one of my 191 subscribers, you probably remember that I used to only post art time lapses that I made in Procreate on my iPad. So that was a while ago. And if you were one of my subscribers, I'm so sorry. I just disappeared. So as you can imagine, a lot has changed since then. I'm turning 30 next month. So I kind of decided I want to do something more substantial with my channel. I kind of want y'all to get to know me a bit. And I want to tell you about how my career started from the very beginning and I guess where I want to go. So I went to college for graphic design. I majored in graphic design, but the thing was I didn't actually want to be a graphic designer. I was dead set on working in games. But at the time, my university didn't have any game design degrees or programs, so I basically used graphic design as my backup plan. So during my time in college, I was doing a lot of portrait studies of people and animals. And this was around the time where I was like, whoa, I'm getting really good at painting what I can see, with a reference picture, painting it one-to-one, right? When I graduated in 2018, I quit my waitressing job and I was like, I'm gonna freelance. I'm gonna do portrait commissions. So I was advertising on all my social media, on Reddit, message me if you want a portrait painting, this and that. And I made a bit of money, not enough to live off of course. Luckily I was living at home, so I had a safety net. But I kind of just realized after doing commissions that I just did not like them. I did not like doing them at all. I literally just kind of realized one day, I just thought I really don't want to be known as a portrait artist. I really just do not care about portraits. The only reason that I started doing them for freelance was because I was good at them. And people are pretty easily impressed by being able to have an accurate likeness. And as you can see from the old videos on my channel, they were just all portrait time lapses. So during this time, my aspirations of working in games was kind of put on the back burner because I realized I don't even know myself or my identity as an artist. So I had to pause and have a good think about what kind of artist did I actually want to be? What did I want to be known for? And I was just like, dude, I love whimsy. I love all things magical, cute, colorful, and bright. But the thing was that I had no experience painting things from my imagination. So I had to ask myself, what do I even want my portfolio to look like? I took a lot of time to look at other artists' work I admire, and it really became clear to me that I wanted my artwork to be fully from imagination. I wanted my artwork to have interesting characters, detailed, lush environments, and I wanted them to tell stories. And I learned very quickly that I was garbage at painting from imagination. Everything I made was trash, so I was looking for learning opportunities. In 2019, I actually applied for a 30-day lake house workshop in Montreal. Some artists might be familiar with Schoolism. Schoolism used to host a lake house workshop, but this was actually during the time where Terry LaFontaine was running it by himself because Schoolism did away with it. So I was really happy to get chosen to do that. So I was one of the 5 people to get chosen to go to this workshop. And it was basically us living together in a lake house for 30 days and every morning at 10 a.m. And I think it was 8 hours. I forgot how many hours. It was just straight rigorous art learning, hammering in the fundamentals. It was one of my favorite experiences ever. It was awesome, and Terry was wonderful. All the students were wonderful. If you ever have an opportunity to do something like that, you really should try it. So besides that workshop, I basically used all of 2019 just to travel to different Schoolism art workshops just to learn. and it was really awesome. I was basically traveling off of my freelance income, which wasn't a lot. So fast forward to 2020, I couldn't really get by with freelancing anymore, and I was like, okay, time to put this graphic design degree to use. And as you know, 2020, COVID hit, right? But I somehow got really lucky. I found a job posting on ZipRecruiter, and it was a metal fabrication company who needed a graphic designer to help design metal artwork. And I was like, what? This is graphic design? This is so unorthodox. Yeah, I applied to that really quickly. I even made a whole section on my portfolio to cater to this job posting because I wanted it so bad. Luckily, fast forward, I managed to get the job. And it was one of the coolest jobs I ever had, just designing metal artwork. I guess it could technically be like product design, physical product design. And during my time working at this job, I was still seeking learning opportunities for my own personal artwork because I wanted to get better at painting, environments, things from my imagination. So I actually purchased a 8-week one-on-one mentorship with Tyler Edlin. And if you're an artist, you've probably heard of Tyler Edlin. He's a very well-known environment artist in the industry. He's worked on games. He has a really great YouTube channel for art learning, things like that. Tyler messaged me one day during our mentorship and he was like, hey, these guys messaged me looking for an artist to help them with their game project. He sent me a few pictures of the project and I was like, this looks right up my alley. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I'll throw my hat in the ring. And then lo and behold, I get an email from Nick Hagialis, owner of Red Essence Games, or one of the owners. And he was asking for an interview. And I was like, no way. Fast forward, I joined Red Essence Games and work on Traveler's Refrain for about 3 years. And we just launched Traveler's Refrain last month. And it's interesting because my plan after Tyler's mentorship was to focus on my own artwork, build a whole new portfolio, find myself as an artist, figure out my identity as an artist, and then eventually apply for game opportunities. But that game opportunity came way earlier than I expected, which is awesome. But I basically had to put my personal artwork on the back burner because not only was I a contractor for Red Essence Games as an artist on the team, but also I was still working my full-time job as a graphic designer, which basically left me with absolutely no motivation, no energy for my own personal artwork. So basically, while working on the game, I was working my full-time job, and during that time, I went from one full-time job to another full-time job. I actually moved to Delaware, of all places, for a motion graphic designer opportunity. Got my own apartment for the first time, that part was cool. Everything else sucked. It sucked so bad, I left that job after a year and came back home to Texas and basically just focused part-time on the game. During that time, I also got into weightlifting, which added a really good, healthy dynamic to my life. But I was basically coasting on savings besides that. And then finally came to time. This past September, I applied for another graphic design job, expecting to be job searching for months, but luckily it only took 3 weeks. And I totally wasn't expecting to get anything like this because it was remote, which was awesome. And on top of that, it was really chill. It's not creatively demanding. Basically, we put logos of companies on a picture of our products and send it to them for approval. And if they give us feedback, we do that feedback and send it again for approval. And we just do that all day, which it's monotonous, but it's exactly what I need right now as I work on my own artwork finally after finishing the game. So super excited about that. So I've been at that job for 9 months now. And while it is exactly what I need right now, just for, stability, I kind of just realized that I don't actually want to work a corporate job for the rest of my working life. If I'm being completely honest with myself, I'm never going to care about another person's business more than my own. And when I think about the kind of life that I want to have, and I'm sure a lot of you artists can relate, I want to one day be able to live off of my own artwork. I want I want to try a whole bunch of things. I want to write and illustrate my own children's book. I want to possibly get an art agent. I want to try art licensing. I want to try selling prints, seeing if I can get my art on products. Like, there's just so many things you can do on this path, and I want to try as many as I can. Even with the threat of generative AI slop infecting literally everything on the internet, I still feel like this path is very, very possible. I actually refuse to believe that it isn't possible. And if you're an artist wanting to do the same thing, I think you should also keep going for sure. So my priority for 2025 is just to make a crap ton of art. Just make a whole bunch of art of things that I enjoy and just see what I gravitate to the most. I literally have like years of art making to catch up on. I literally want to make so much art that I can take all of my old portrait artwork off of my portfolio website. So my art right now is really leaning into stylized animal characters, just really silly, sweet, whimsical, colorful, just things that make you smile. And I really resonate with this a lot more than my old like realistic portrait style. I would say my painting style is like very detailed rendering, strong lighting, fun textures, experimentation with colors. And I think I've just always gravitated towards painting this way. And I think that comes from my realism style background. I think something really fun happens when you combine sort of a realistic rendering style and a very stylized like shape style. I think I want to keep expanding in this direction, just keep experimenting, and once I develop just a whole new body of work, I just want to see what I can do with it, and I want to use this channel to just document the whole journey. I don't have a complete plan about what this channel will be. You know, I do intend to share my insight as I like learn how to make this a full-time thing. I definitely like to hear from you guys about what you might want to see from me. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to make another video answering those. If you're interested in process videos, I could probably make videos that are a bit more interesting than the time lapses that I used to post. I do want to note that I'm not really trying to place myself as an art educator. That's not really the type of channel that I'm trying to make at this time, at least. There's so many other YouTube channels that specialize in that kind of thing that can properly teach you art skills. But what I can do is just show you how I paint things, just my perspective of things, if that's something you're interested in. And then most importantly with this channel, I really believe that authenticity matters above everything. I want to stay true to myself and what I enjoy, and I want to find a good bridge between the things that I would enjoy making a video about and things that you would be interested in watching. I also think this channel would be a great way to connect with other artists like myself who want to eventually leave the corporate life and become creatively, financially independent. And as you can probably tell, I have run out of sunlight. Have you noticed the video getting darker and darker? But if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to learn about me. If you're interested in keeping tabs on my little artistic journey, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have anything specific you'd want to see from me, please let me know. Okay, thank y'all.